14. That is the age that we walk on a tightrope. Too old to cry to your mom, but too young to be confident in yourself. Liberated from the preteen ignorance, but not quite yet responsible enough for adulthood. And then they're starting high school. Awkward, right? My vision of high school was straight out of a movie. 16 candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, and my experience actually did start off that way. I made the varsity volleyball team as a freshman, I had great friends, and I found a best friend, Jolene. Jolene was a little bit older. She had long blonde hair and a laugh that made everyone smile. She had this charismatic energy that made people attract towards her, like moths to a flame. I was proud to be standing next to her, to be her friend. And then there was Jake. Jake, my first real big girl crush. He had dark brown curly hair, brown eyes, he was a little bit older and played baseball. Every time we hung out, he gave me butterflies. And eventually, he asked me out on a date. I ran straight to Jolene. Jolene, what do I do? What do I wear? I haven't been on a date before. I haven't even had my first real kiss yet. She calmed me down, helped me pick out the perfect outfit. Relax, it's going to be fine. The kiss will happen naturally. I honestly did not know what I would have done without her. I was so nervous. Jake pulls up driving his dad's car, even though he's only 15 with a permit. And the moment I opened that door, I was hit with this wave of cologne. Maybe he was just as nervous as I was. He took me for ice cream and we talked for hours. As I'm rambling on, I see him lean in from my peripheral vision. So I lean in too, and bam, fireworks. I had my first real big girl kiss. I was on top of the world. It was just like the movies. I kept this floaty feeling with me on my way to school Monday. But as I walked up to my friends, I noticed that something was off. It was like my mascara was smudged or I had too much blush on. What's going on, guys? Kenzie was the first to say something. Jolene told us what you did. I cannot believe you went after Jake knowing that she liked him. What? But I didn't. She's calling you a slut and a whore. He was 15. I was only 14. But I didn't. She came over to my house on Friday night. She helped me get ready for this date. She didn't say anything. No one said a word. They all just stared at me. My words meant nothing compared to this power Jolene had somehow wielded over my friends. Now I'm back on my tightrope, but I'm struggling to find my balance. I'm losing my stability. I thought that this situation was just gonna be temporary, but it wasn't. Jolene, my best friend, began to bully me, not just behind my back, but to my face. The first time I walked up to a lunch table full of my friends and Jolene, she just looked right through me. She pretended like I didn't exist. And all of my friends followed her lead. It was like this invisible hand of Jolene silenced them all. I always thought Jolene was my safety net. She would be the person to catch me if I fell. But as I'm wavering on my tightrope, I saw the truth. That net below me was in tatters. One slip and there would be nothing to break my fall. But it didn't stop in the lunchroom. I'd still have to face Jolene at volleyball practice. Anytime I'd shank a ball or miss a serve, I can hear her laughing. Oh God, she sucks. I don't even know why coach put her on varsity. All my friends would laugh, smile. They were mirrors of Jolene. I was trapped. I I wasn't safe in the lunchroom. I wasn't safe on the volleyball court, and I wasn't safe with my own friends. I had somehow gone from feeling on top of the world to feeling like I didn't belong on this earth. My freedom to just be vanished. And I took that joyless self home. At home, I was mean, snarky, quiet, which is not like me at all. The only time I felt like I could truly let down my defenses was under the blue sheets on my bed, finally allowing myself to feel the pain I was terrified to let anyone else see. I thought Jolene was my friend. Why aren't my friends saying anything? Maybe nobody likes me. Maybe nobody wants me here. I don't want to be alive. That last thought would gnaw at me day and night. But I wouldn't let anyone know. Not my dad, not my mom, not my sister. I was falling further and further away from everyone and into my own abyss. I've since learned that this is the abyss of a victim of a bully. They often feel like it's all on them. It was all on me. And I wanted out. Permanently. One of my only escapes was my English class. No teammates, no Jolene. So, when we were assigned a poem, I wrote about everything I couldn't speak to. A shameful truth I didn't know how to admit. Maybe I don't belong on this earth. I wrote about wanting to take my life and having a plan for it. The next day, my teacher looked at me very deeply. Reese, your poem raised a lot of concerns, and I don't want to alarm you, but we've had to report it. We've called your parents, and they're on their way. I'm so sorry. Everything after that was a blur. Panic set in. No, please don't call my parents. Just call them again and tell them it was a mistake. But we only lived 5 minutes away from the school. Soon, I was in the back seat, my mom's eyes filled with tears. My dad drove quietly. Reese, we're going to take you to see a therapist today. Okay, Dad, but I promise I'm fine, I swear. But none of them knew what was happening at school. Not my parents, not my teacher, not even the therapist they took me to. They only knew how I felt, but not why. I didn't have the courage to tell them about Jolene. So all I did was cry and promise that I was fine. Now this pressure I had felt at school followed me home. I could no longer slam my doors or hide in my room. I had to face it. Therapy was a step forward, but it didn't change what was going on at school. No one knew the hold Jolene had over my friends until I finally told the whole story. In the end, we all agreed the best way to move forward was for me to transfer schools. Sometimes the only way to win is to run. So I did. To a safer school, to a stronger me, to a place of freedom where I could shape my own future, taking back the power and the responsibility to decide who I am, not who someone else says I am. You may be sitting here thinking, yes, high school can be hard. But for me, I almost took my life because of it. But not because it was hard. Because someone went out of their way to deflate me to such a degree that I could not breathe. And we see this every day. It is not just in our classrooms. It's in the workplace. It's on social media. It's in our government. You see it. Bullying is normalized. Power is wielded and observers stay silent. Power was wielded by Jolene and my friends stayed silent, including Jake. Why do people stay silent? I believe it is out of fear. Fear of becoming the next target. My friends were scared to become Jolene's next victim. I've made it to the end of my tightrope. I'm 21 years old now, confident, able to cry to my mom, and I have the freedom to speak up for myself, while also carrying the reminder and the responsibility to speak up for others around me too. I refuse to stay silent and give the bully power. Where do you stay silent? If we are all silent as a bystander to the bully, don't we become the bully too?